Hey everyone. So, today I have another little side topic for you guys. Sad one, actually. So, prepare your handkerchiefs and F's in the chat, because here we go. As you've probably seen by the title, it's about the Switch, this bad boy right here. Um, in order to understand the current state of my Switch, let's first talk about the process it went through before it got here. Uh, before it got to this state, anyways. Gather around, I got a story to tell you. Basically, like any Nintendo fan, when I saw the announcement for the Switch, I went bananas. Absolutely crazy. Uh, I had to have it, but I knew it was going to be complicated since, you know, Ecuador and such. Oh, Ecuador. Silly Ecuador. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should check out my rant about the PS5, then you'll completely understand. But I digress. Getting it here was going to be close to impossible. So when it came out March 3rd, 2017, which is the date that it was released around most of the world, not Ecuador. Sorry. Something salty seemed to have hit my throat. But anywho, I was part of the sad group of people who couldn't get it from the start and ended up being part of another group who almost took a year to actually get the Switch. Uh, that's right, folks. I ended up getting the Switch almost a year later. Specifically, I asked my cousin to get it for me on my birthday in January 2018. I paid for it, of course. And it ended up getting here through my aunt, who just so happened to go to the States in January and came back almost mid February. Thank you, aunt. Thank you, cuz. You guys are the real MVPs. And well, once I got it, you can best believe I played it like crazy. I had Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Octopath, since I told my cousin I definitely wanted to have those three games to start with. Man, they are awesome. So, during the next months, I played those games and later on downloaded some demos as well as bought some games to save on my console. All good until November. Well, oh goodness, November. Basically, at some point, my Switch just started having connection issues. I thought it had something to do with Fortnite, and it was just that game that was being kind of lame playing online. Since around that time, I had been playing Fortnite on the Switch. Yes, I play Fortnite. Right now, I'm in COD Mobile. You know, while my brother played on the PS4. But then I realized that my Switch was just having connection issues in general. I wonder why. What do I mean by connection issues? Well, basically, it just didn't connect sometimes. Other times it would connect but immediately disconnect. And then there were times that it couldn't even detect Wi Fi networks. So, as usual, I tried to resolve it myself, troubleshooting, looking up answers, but to no avail. Then I asked my cousin, and we tried some troubleshooting, and still fail. What can you do? So, there I was, a Switch with internet problems. My good old problem child. But you know what made these problems an actual pain in the nether region? Well, the fact that before having these problems, the game I had been playing at the time, Octopath, needed an update to play. And guess who couldn't connect to the internet? Basically, it felt like having a brick switch while just having the luxury of scrolling through the apps and, well, maybe playing some games that didn't need an update. But that wasn't why I had a Switch. You know, I really wanted to get through the story since it was so that darn good. Up to that point, I was stuck. I couldn't do much, so I set it aside until January 2019 when my cousin miraculously came to Ecuador. It'd been a long time since he came. I hadn't seen him in person in forever. And when he came, he helped me get in touch with Nintendo and to go through the warranty process. When you want to make sure that everything's all right, see if they can help, which obviously they didn't because we were able to set it up so that when he went back to the States, he could send it to Nintendo, which means Nintendo clearly couldn't do much on call. To get it checked and hopefully fixed and not replaced since we didn't want to lose any saved data. I think during the whole process that was my main concern since I really did not want to start everything over from zero. started from scratch. Terrible situation. So he took it back with him, sent it to Nintendo, and as hoped, got it back with internet connectivity. Great, right? Well, how do we get it back here? Luckily, there was a solution to that too. A friend from over here, Ecuador, was going to visit some family in the States, so he told me he'd bring it back. My cousin sent it to where he was staying, and my friend would bring it back when he came back. Guess when he was coming back? You can pause and write it in the comments, but whatever. I'm just gonna tell you. Remember, I sent my Switch with my cousin at the end of January. Remember that. He got it back almost at the end of March after it was fixed. Okay. Sent it to my friend at the beginning of April, and my friend brought it back at the beginning of May. Yup. Pretty much 4 months is how long that process took. Nice. So, finally my Switch is working. Hey, that's great. I can download updates and play games again. Cue the epic quote. Nothing could possibly go wrong, right? Well, my dear Ace, that is where you are gravely mistaken. The first thing I noticed with my Switch is that when it connected to the internet, it took an awful long time, which you would assume is normal since the Switch never did have the best connection. But goodness, my Switch had become the turtle of all Switches. It literally always capped out at a maximum of 2 megabytes per second, or megabits per second, no matter how close I was to the router. And literally, I was like right next to it. And short distances left it at 1 megabit per second, so I definitely wasn't gonna download anything at any distance from the router. Definitely wanted to have it right next to the router to make sure my Switch could actually download something. If not, my God. And no, I'm not being ungrateful that it could connect. I'm actually happy that it could. It just made me a little sad to know that I had a connection that made AOL internet look fast. But I could live with it if that were the worst of it. Fast forward to now, June 2020, we all know the situation we're in. And of course, my Switch internet has died. Requiescat in pace, goodbye horses, and just plain old gone. And I'll show you, since I got it here. So, let's turn this on. Let me show you. So there. Oops. For some reason, news is still from the last news that we had. Click on this, and you get this error code, which is a real pain in the butt. I'll read it to you anyways. Error code 2110-1115. Wireless communication is not currently available due to an error. Please restart the console from the power options in the power menu. Hold the power button for 3 seconds, which I've tried infinite amount of times, just to clarify. And you can press OK, of course, and it'll let me actually play the game if I wanted to, but that's clearly not the point. You might be wondering, well, what's the problem if you can actually play games? Excellent question. Well, before it died, I actually bought 2 games, which is a luxury that I don't get to give myself very often because I need to use my money to live, not to just play games. So I bought actually Minecraft Dungeons, which thank goodness downloaded completely before the Switch internet died. Yes, one game actually downloaded. And the other, which is, Paper Mario, the Origami King. And can you guess why I'm bummed out about that? First of all, it didn't finish downloading. Second, it's a pre-order. So, guess who has a pre-ordered game that they can't pre-download and play until who knows when? Yeah, this guy. So, well, I wanted to share this with you guys as a part of my crazy Ecuador stories, since I would send it to Nintendo or try to get the LAN adapter, because I got one of these things which is crud. Tried it, didn't work. I would send it to Nintendo if I were in the States, because in the States it would be a breeze. and the adapter would definitely be guaranteed and not overpriced out the nether regions. Let's just say that. But if you remember the PS5 video and the process I mentioned with my cousin and friend, right now that's about as likely as the Switch, my Switch, connecting to the internet again while I'm making this video. Just to be sure. Oh, darn. I tried. Oh well. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this content, please hit the like button and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments section if you have any questions or suggestions to my Switch woes. Take care, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.